Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to your English class, and today's topic is notice writing. So in this video we will learn how to write a notice, what is the format, etc. Let's talk about what is a notice. A notice is an announcement written or printed in order to inform a large number of people about something that is about to happen or has already happened. So it can be any event. It can be an upcoming event, a competition, a lost and found notice, tender notice, or just a piece of information which you want to deliver to a targeted audience. This targeted audience can be anyone. It might be general public, and such notices we put out in a newspaper. It can be for office employees on an office notice board, or school children or school teachers on a school notice board. So any kind of information, any kind of news, any announcement you want to make, and you want a particular group of people to know about it, you put out as a notice. Now, there are certain things we need to remember while we are writing a notice. Now, the first one being that the question that is provided to us should be read very carefully. Now, what do you have to derive from that question? All the necessary information that you will put out in your notice. Then this notice should be factual, that means fact based. Whatever facts are provided in the question, you have to use those facts in your notice, and it should be to the point. It should not unnecessarily be lengthened. It should have brevity. It should be brief and precise. Then the language should be very simple. It should not be unnecessarily complicated. And because notice is a formal announcement, we have to make sure that our tone is formal and not informal. Now let's move on to the outline of a notice. Here we'll learn what our notice is going to look like after we write it. That means the format of the notice. The first thing to remember here is that you will always put your notice in a square box. Then on the top middle, you will write down the name of the institution. What is the name of the institution? It is most probably given in your question that is provided to you. This is basically the name of the issuing authority. That means the institution or the organization that is issuing the notice. So write down the name of the institution first, and then just below it write down its address. After writing the address, then you leave a space, or if you're writing on a notebook, you will leave a line and then write down notice in capital letters. Then towards the left hand side, we'll write down date. And again, leaving a space or a line, then we will write down suitable heading. And what is this suitable heading? You will again derive it from the question only. You will see what subject you're about to write on. So that is the suitable heading. This part of the notice is the header. You know, these four things: the name of the institution plus address, then the notice, then the date, and suitable heading. This is called the header. And if you notice, I have emboldened this. If you are printing a notice, you will embolden this, and if you are writing it on a notebook, then you will underline it to make it bold. Then comes the content. Now in contents, you have to mention whom this notice is targeted to. So you have to mention for whom these words are being written. Then you also have to mention the time, the date, the venue, and any important detail or any extra information that is required or needed. And this should not go beyond 50 words. There's a word limit to be followed. You have to stay within that word limit, and then in the end you will have to write down the name and designation of the person who is writing the notice. For instance, take this question. You are Adnan Hussain, head boy of RP school, Alamdar colony. Your school has planned a skiing expedition to Gulmarg for the boys of class 9th and 10th. The expedition begins from the 1st of February for 15 days during the winter break. The cost of the expedition will be rupees 3,000. Write a notice in not more than 50 words for your school notice board, giving detailed information and inviting the names of those who are desirous to join. So this is the question provided to you, and from this only you will derive all the necessary information that you will write in your notice. For example, Adnan Hussain is the person writing the notice. You have to understand the name is given here only. So Adnan Hussain, and what is his designation? He is the head boy. So that means name and designation of the person writing the notice is Adnan Hussain, and head boy is his designation. Then RP School Alamdar Colony, it is the name of the institution and the address. Then who is the target group here? It is boys of class 9th and 10th. What is the duration? It is 15 days. Date you will derive from that only. It begins on 1st February, then it will be remain till 15th of the month. Cost of expedition is given. So all the necessary details are given there. These you have to pick up from this question and put in your notice. So when we convert this question into a notice, according to the format that we have learned, this is how your notice should look like. Do not forget the box. Box is really very important. It costs you marks if you forget. Then on the top, middle, we write down name of the institution, which is RP school in your question. Then the address just below it, that is Alamdar Colony. Then we leave a space and write down notice in bold capital letters. Then towards the left hand side, we write down date. This is how we'll write down the date, not in numbers, not the day / month / year. No, this is the particular way you have to write down your date. Then after that, leave a line or a space again and give a suitable title to your notice. So here, because it is about a skiing expedition, we'll give the title skiing expedition. Then come the contents of the body. So what will we write here? All the necessary information that we need to give to the target group. Now here you must remember that you have a word limit to follow. You cannot go beyond 50 words. 1 or 2 words less or more is fine, but not beyond that. So what will we write here? Our school has organized a skiing expedition to Gulmarg from the 1st to 15th February for the students of class 9th and 10th. The cost of this trip is rupees 3,000. Interested participants may register their names along with the money and a consent letter from parents to the undersigned by 25th of January. So here we have written the body, and all the information that we have written in this is mostly from the question. We have just added 2 necessary details. One is the consent letter from the parents, and also we have given the last date for registering the names. So these are some details you can add. So this ends the body of the notice. After this, on the left hand side, you will write down the name of the person writing the notice. That is Adnan Hussain, and what is his designation? That you'll write down below. He is a head boy, and you can also add a signature there. So this is how we write down a notice. Please remember the format or the outline very carefully. Do not forget the box. Do not forget the word limit to be followed. And also write down the date in the proper manner. Give a suitable title to your notice and write down everything in its proper place. This is a very scoring question in your examination, and it will be very easy if you just remember the outline properly. When this notice will be written on your notebook, this is how it is going to look like. So I hope today's lesson is clear. That will be all for today. Take care. Fi Amanillah.